Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, or QNT. And I have quite a bit to talk about, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely. Only takes a couple seconds, and I do greatly appreciate it. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about, adoption of crypto, but first I do want to address the elephant in the room, and that is price action. I've always told you guys I'm not really focused on price action on QNT, but of course I will give you guys those updates on a day-to-day basis, just to make sure that you guys who are focused on price action do understand where essentially we are at on terms of where can QNT go from here. Now, I know just recently, just before we jump into the price action, we did hit 40,000 total addresses holding. We're at 40,072 exact. So we have been growing and growing and growing. Even going back to the, December 22nd, we have grown almost, 500 individuals who are holding. On the 1 month span, you can pretty much go back and see that we've gained about 2,000 new addresses holding, which is incredible to say the least, but we are still so early in terms of 40,000 addresses. That's nothing even comparing it to, Bitcoin, XRP, all of these major other assets. So, it just does tell us exactly how early we are on QNT. Now, just to address the elephant in the room, right? We are hitting major resistance going all the way back as far as August of this year. We do see it, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've even tested it multiple times in between here as well. And we are seeing strong rejections off of this. Now, with Bitcoin, I believe that we could be bottomed out on Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if we did test this September lows at some point in time, which is like around the 40K mark. If we do get that, yeah, sure, we'll most likely retest this bottom support bracket down here. If we retest any lower, I would be concerned. I definitely am watching the dominance levels on Bitcoin and also even Ethereum, as we are seeing a little bit more dominance, gaining on, some coins like Binance Coin, for an example. But I would not be too focused on price action. Like I said, volume does look pretty rough. RSI looks pretty rough as well. So until we do see an impulse, back above the 50 mark on the RSI and volume to flow in, I'm not going to be too happy with the price action on QNT, just to give you guys those insights. Now, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about Overledger. So, I'm sure a lot of you already know how big Overledger is as a network. Now, we do see here, join the next generation of multi-DLT networks. So, I know when we're talking about interledger protocol for XRP, when we're talking about, overall, interoperability options for these major DLTs, the problem with them is that they don't allow plug and play for other DLTs to communicate with specific DLTs. What solves that is Quant, or QNT. We talked about ODAP in the past. ODAP has major connections to HSBC and major other banking financial institutions and services. But overall, this is going to be the API gateway. This is going to be the API plug and play for all DLTs to essentially be able to communicate with one another, or aka just a massive DLN, or distributed ledger network. And I'm very excited to see this actually, foster into a new age of interoperability adoption and pretty much scale. I think that this is going to provide the major use cases that a lot of these major financial institutions are going to want to see, especially utilizing a network like this. And of course, we do see delivers value to members 24/7. We know that they currently support major, DLT networks, as you guys already see here. Of course, with this in mind, I will say this. I am watching for more DLTs to be labeled here. We know that they were going to be available in 2021. We actually didn't see that updated here. I would not be surprised if we do see a major update within that eventually, come. So with that, you can pretty much look at the statistics here. I'm not going to go in depth on that because a lot of you probably already know about Overledger Network. I don't need to tell you guys too much about that. But I want to talk to you guys about a lot of these major use cases within the Quant network. So first off, we've always discussed the facilitating a global ecosystem for digital assets, aka the DLT network of networks, to pretty much bridge them all. And of course, today the use of DLTs to digitize and tokenize physical and illiquid assets can unlock the new value and trading opportunities, which we know Swift just got into that. But we also see enabling open access to CBDCs for the first time, providing new wholesale and retail market participants the same access as commercial banks to central bank digital currencies, and of course, unlocking the potential of stablecoin for commercial banks. Now, the reason why I want to talk to you guys about this, and the reason why I bring these use cases up, because I'm sure that a lot of you probably could have found this, is because when we're talking about the future of money, the next revolution to the payment scene, we look at what's going to replace it, and it's all talking about the major shift in the markets to CBDCs. We're looking at even, stable coins here, and there's other, options as well. DLTs have been providing immense amounts of payment options as well. But of course, this is all going to lead to the demise of physical cash, or so this individual is saying. I'm not saying that we will essentially get to that point, but I definitely do think that this next era is going to draw a massive amount of attention away from the US dollar and actually provide a lot of, pretty much, attention to CBDCs, digital currencies, crypto in general, and, even here, a CBDC would need to be widely and easily accessible. That's why when we're talking about access to CBDCs from the Quant network, it's fairly interesting, to say the least, to really kind of mention that and really look into, how will we get there? Because a lot of DLTs are providing, CBDC options, but the problem that arises is interoperability. And again, QNT allows for that interoperability layer to pretty much be facilitated in by a plug-and-play option, aka an API connection or gateway connection through something like the Overledger network, for an example. But I mean, overall, I definitely do think that the future of money is nearly here. We haven't seen a massive shift in the payment scene for a fairly long time, and I do think that the next generation of payments is already here. It's already built. Crypto in general is already here. And we also see here one of QNT's features explained, combine the security of the Bitcoin, the low cost and speed of XRP, and the smart contract ability of Hyperledger within one application. Program all that without specific blockchain knowledge in 12 different programming languages. That's what Oracle calls QNT's module approach. And listen closely to this.
Applications, not distributed applications, multi-chain applications. So if you think about it a bit more, we're kind of like what Microsoft did. If Microsoft in the 90s made Windows to be internet-based and put Windows OS on top of the internet to create internet apps, that's what we're doing today. So we've got our operating system on top of existing blockchains and future blockchains to create internet-based multi-chain apps where you can actually benefit from the different types of blockchain. So the challenge is with a dApp, it's dApp1 sits on blockchain A and it does everything on blockchain A. dApp2 sits on blockchain 2 and does everything on blockchain 2. So you can't allow these applications to transfer data and transfer value very easily. It's a problem, and that's what we're solving. So with multi-chain apps, you can actually split your app up, and you can say, well, I want my app to use a bit of Ripple for authentication. I want it to use a bit of Bitcoin for, let's just say, storage of data. And I want it to use Hyperledger because of scalability for resilience. You can actually have that choice with multi-chain applications.
And that's why this multi-DLT networks, aka multi-chain, if you will, as well, is going to be so big. He even said it himself, solving the issue of interoperability between these dApps that are built on specific networks. That's the main use case behind this. And honestly, when we're talking about how big QNT essentially will be at scale, well, you have to look at how big, digital payments are going to be. How big are these DLTs going to be? And we even see here, analysts say 2022 will be defined by agility and cost efficiency instead of blockchain purity. And this goes hand in hand with, where's the money going to flow in? We see, Bitcoin's, looking for as high as $250,000 in, 2022. What's going to happen here, with DLTs, these major assets that have a massive amount of speed and, efficiency? I think it's the year for DLTs. I think it's the year for utility in general. I don't think it's all going to be focused on Bitcoin. Of course, I do hope that Bitcoin does hit those numbers. I think that that'll be very interesting. But overall, I'm more so looking at mass adoption of these massive, digital assets that are pretty much providing, speed, security. We even see here, we see This represents a significant change from the trends of the past, which centered around or more on projects focused on security store value and that are more decentralized like Bitcoin and even Ether. Basically, the market seems to go for business agility and cost efficiency rather than blockchain purity, a big change from past years. The winning relative value trade is likely to continue into the next year. That's why everybody's focused on Hedera, on XRP, on these major assets that are providing the scale, the efficiency, the speed, the low cost transactional, fees as well, because they do see them being a huge part of the future. Now, like I said, as DLTs grow in adoption, QNT in general also grow because we know that they do need interoperability to pretty much transact at mass scale. And we even see here QNT providing interoperability for Europe's largest payment providers, Nexi plus Nets, and the biggest financial infrastructure next to SWIFT, SIA. All three merged recently. QNT is mentioned by Nexi and SIA as their solution for DLT interoperability. Which, of course, when we're talking about this goes even into a bigger point of adoption. This is leading us to a massive payment hub, aka a huge infrastructure. And we do see here, and Obilab chain, SIA chain white label, is being used as a digital euro trial. And we even see that here labeled on the Association of Bancaria Italiana, which I guess is the Bank of Italy. So this is all focused on DLTs. This is all focused on, the digital euro. So this is very interesting. And we even see our QNT partners. MIT works with the Fed on CBDCs. SDX works with the Swiss National Bank and the BIS on a Swiss CBDC. SIA works with the Bank of Italy on a digital euro. Nexi works with ECB on a digital euro. Ripple plus QNT founded the Digital Pound Foundation. This is all going to lead into mass adoption. We even see here Quant Network is the DLT interoperability solution for all of this. And when we're talking at mass scale, just imagine how big QNT actually is going to be at a 33% less supply than Bitcoin. And we even see here Nexi extends partnership with Reply to launch European Innovation Hub. And of course, one of the main goals of Nexi Digital is attracting talent, specifically young people with engineering, digital, or related degrees. The company anticipates adding 500 new additional employees, with 350 being new hires. This is fairly large. And they are definitely going to be focusing on ramping up this massive hub, which is all going to be focused on the next major innovation to the payment scene. And then, of course, in terms of Reply is also fairly large because they are looking into the digital transformation. They're talking more so about, where could we be in terms of this next major digitization of everything. They're even talking more so, the digital transformation workshops in Munich, which is also enabling the technically in a speedy way and produce tangible results, has become more and more important for individuals leading digital change within a corporate environment. So this is talking more so about corporations being, digitized. I think that all of this goes hand in hand with what we are marching into, which is digitization of everything. Not only the payment scene, but pretty much everyday life. Interoperability in general pretty much will bleed into the healthcare scene. It will bleed into pretty much everything that we've talked about on a day-to-day basis. Even, electronic cards. We talk about even Hedera, being able to have those nodes that can communicate with one another. We talk about it with drones. Everything is marching forward on into a digital world at such a rapid pace. And when we're talking about payments, we're talking about, CBDCs, we're talking about digitization of payments in general. I definitely do think that QNT or Quant Network is perfectly positioned to be disruptive technology. So with that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join a free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are. And this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.